All right, this is Trapezoids and Irregular Shape homework. Take a look at the very first one. These are going to be just like the ones that were on your homework. So I'm going to skip down to this one that looks a little bit harder and has some more numbers on it. So remember, when you're finding the area of a trapezoid, the formula that you're going to use is area equals the quantity of base 1 plus base 2 times the height, all divided by 2. So in this trapezoid, I'm going to identify base 1, base 2, and the height, just like we did in class. So remember, if you want to color code, you can. The bases are the two sides that are parallel, that are never going to intersect. So I'm going to use 13.6 as base 1, and 6.4 is base 2. The height is always the straight line that goes up and down where the 90-degree angle is formed. So in this case, it's 5.2. Those are the only numbers that you're going to use for this formula. They give you the 6.7 and the 6 over here just to kind of trick you. So inside the parentheses, I'm going to put 13.6 plus 6.4 times a height of 5.2, all divided by 2. All right, so now on your calculator, you're going to type in the parentheses first. Okay, so let's see. So 13.6 plus 6.4 is 20. So we're going to put that in parentheses times 5.2 divided by 2. You have to do one operation at a time. Now, we're going to do 20 times 5.2, which is 104. And then we're going to divide that by 2, which is 52. And you have to make sure that you use your labels, which in this case is kilometers squared. Okay, so that's the formula you're going to use for all of the shapes on the front side. All right, so you can pause the video to finish the other ones. And then the back, these questions are similar to the ones that have been on your warm-ups. So we don't have a formula for an irregular shape like this. So we want to divide this shape up into shapes that we do have formulas for, like rectangles. So if I were to divide this shape up, we could make a line going this way, or we could make a line going this way. So I'm going to make a line going like this. All right, so now I have two different rectangles. So the first rectangle, I'm going to look at this bigger one. This one has a side of 18, and then I need to figure out what this side is. Well, I know this side is 8 here, and the whole way across is 16, so that would leave another 8 for this side. So if I were to find the area, which is length times width of this rectangle, I would do 18 times 8. Here's length, here's width. So I'm going to enter that into my calculator. 18 times 8 would be 144. So this area is 144 in here. But we still have this shape over here. So I know that these sides are 8, and now I need to figure out what this side is. Well, if the whole way across is 18, and I know from here to here is 9, that would leave 9 left for this side and this side, because 9 plus 9 is 18. So this rectangle has a length and width of 9 times 8, which is 72. So to find the area of the total shape, we would have to add those two areas together. So we would do 144 plus 72. Which would be 216. Now they didn't give us any specific labels, so I'm just going to say units squared. All right, take a look at the next shape. we've got two squares, a bigger square and a smaller square on the inside. Now, I'm going to guess they want us to find the area of the shaded square. So in order to do that, we would have to find the area of both squares, and then we're going to subtract out the square that's on the inside. So the area of this big square would be length times width, and both sides would be 14 times 14. So if I multiply those together, I would get 196. So that's for the larger square. Now if I find the area of the smaller square, that would be 7 times 7, which is 49. But if I just want the shaded part, I don't want to know the area of the smaller square. What I need to do is take the area of the big one and subtract the area of the smaller square. So I would do 196 minus 49, which is 147 feet squared. All right, take a look at the shape down here. I'm not going to do this one for you, but I'm going to help you get started by just saying, remember, you're going to have to divide that shape up into two different shapes. And this one's fairly easy. There's a square on top that has dimensions of 54 by 54 feet. And then once you cut that shape in half, there's a rectangle that's got dimensions of 90 and 54. So you're going to need to find the area of both of those shapes, the square and the rectangle, and then add them together like we did on top. All right, last one, number 5. This shape right here, I would say, is a trapezoid, even though this looks like it's a straight side here. We're still going to use base 1 and base 2 times the height divided by 2. Now the only thing is they didn't give us this dimension for this side right here, but we're going to be able to find that because we know all the way across is 16, and they gave us that this section is 7 centimeters. So in order to find this, we would just do 16 minus 7, which would be 9. So if I use that trapezoid formula, that's the quantity base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. I'm going to substitute in 9 for one of the bases and 16, and the height is 9, and divide everything by 2. So I'm going to solve what's inside parentheses first, which would be 25 times 9 divided by 2. Then on my calculator, I'm going to type in 25 times 9, which is 225, divided by 2, would be 112.5. And our label would be centimeters squared.